Good day, everyone, and welcome to today's session. Today, we'll be talking about the fraction of an amount. First of all, let's understand what a fraction is. Fraction is simply what? Part over whole. Our fraction means part of something over whole. Now, if I have, let me just say 5 oranges, for example, and you are asked to select 2 parts over 5 of these oranges, what will you do? You pick 2. And if you have been asked to select 4 parts and so on, you pick 4. That will become what? 4 over 5. Now, this number of oranges can be regarded as what? The amount of oranges you have, and which can also be seen in different aspects, like in your currencies, the amount of money you have, and so on and so forth. So a fraction of something is also a fraction of any given quantity. Now let's move forward. For this class, we'll be trying to calculate the fraction of any given amount using 2 different models. Firstly, we'll be using the bar models to find the fraction, and then we'll now move forward to use the normal multiplication to calculate these fractions. So let's begin with the bar model. What is this bar model? The bar model is simply what? A rectangular bar that has been used to represent the whole amount of a given item. Now, for instance, if I should say this bar represents 50, for example, this bar represents 50. Now, what does that simply mean? It simply means if I divide this 50 into 5 equal parts, I will have 10 to represent each part. Now, if you have been asked to pick 2 out of the 5 parts of this 50, what will it be? It will simply be what? You're going to pick 2, which is this 2, and in this case, the answer will be 20. Now you can see, but when you pick all the parts, it's like you're picking the whole. That's good. Now let's move a little bit forward to understand how these bars are used to represent what? Fractions. Now let's look at this. Look at these bars here. What you have to do here is to count the whole, count how many parts there are, and then count also the shaded portion, and then represent it in this manner. For the first one, A, I have 1, 2, let me write it down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 parts, of which 2 have been shaded. So in terms of fraction, what I have is 2 out of 5 shaded. Now, if I move forward, for B, I believe you are counting now with me. B, I have 9 parts with 4 shaded, which will be what? 4 out of 9. And if I move forward, clearly C is 1 part shaded out of what? 3. D, count carefully, you have 12 parts and then 11 have been shaded. So that means 11 over 12. For E, what we have here is we have 4 different parts and 3 have been shaded. And finally, for F, we have 15 different parts, however 10 have been shaded. Now that is it, how we represent fractions using the bar model. Now let's dive deep into calculating the amount of a given fraction using the bar model. Now let's imagine this to represent a whole amount, which is 20. Now we have been asked to calculate 2 over 5 of 20. That is, what is 2 over 5 of 20? Now let me rephrase this question as saying divide this 20 by 5 and then multiply the result by 2. So first of all, let's divide the 20, which is also the bar model. Let me divide this carefully into 5 parts, assumable equal parts. Now if I divide this 20 by 5 by normal calculation, what will I get? I will obtain what? 4. So that simply means that each part here represents 4. Each part here represents 4. And the question has simply asked us to pick just 2 parts. So let's shade out 2 parts here. According to the question, it has asked us to shade out 2 parts. So you can, as you can see clearly, I have shaded out 2 parts. This means 2 out of the 5 have been selected. So in this case, let me see also how I can, these 2 parts simply means 4 plus 4, and that is 8, which means 2 out of 5 of 20 is equals to 8. Interesting, right? That is good. So if we have actually understood how to use the bar model to calculate this, can we do this when it is not actually any question, just a bar model? First of all, count the number of parts. How many are they? There are 9 parts, like you can see, and then 2 have been shaded. So the question can be placed in this form: 2 of 9 of 6,300. So it's more similar like the previous question. So what we do here is we divide 6,300 by 9, like we have been told before, and that will give us 700 clearly. Good. Then what we now do is each part here represents 700, and this part 700, and so on and so on. So if we add 700 plus 700, what we are going to obtain is what? 1,400 grams. That is very wonderful. Like you can see that, and I believe you are following. Okay, next we'll try to see if you can solve this by yourself. The question is, what is 3 out of 5 of 350 pounds? Let's see how you can actually solve this by yourself. But if you cannot, just wait, I will walk you through the solution. So for now, pause the video and solve. Alright, I believe you have done your best. I believe you've tried to solve this question. And then if you couldn't solve it, let's just walk through the solution and see. Now the first thing you do here is to know that you have to divide 350 by this 5 here. So let's divide it. 350 divided by 5. Do that carefully, and that will give us what? 70. Good. Now that simply means that each part here represents what? 70, and so on and so forth. So 70 plus 70 plus 70 will give me what? 210 pounds. Now that simply means 3 out of 5 of 350 is what? 210. Good. Now I believe that you've understood how to calculate using the bar model. Now let's dive into the calculation using normal multiplication. Now look at this. We will try to calculate this using the normal multiplication method. So I've divided this into 2 parts. Now let's look at the first one. Evaluate 3 out of 5 of 600. Remember, you have been told you divide this and then finally multiply the result, right? Now let's do it. So I'll simply just place it in this form. 2a, this will be equal to 2a multiplied by, I'm going to do this first, which is division. I'll divide this by 5, 600 by 5. So that will give me what? 2a multiplied by 5 into 600 will give me 120. And if I multiply these two together, I should have 360. Very good. Now look at this second part. This second part is a little bit challenging because it involves both, is a mixed fraction. It involves both what? A whole number and a fractional part. You can solve them separately, or you can convert this into what? Improper fraction. Let's try and do that first. 2 multiplied 5 is 10, multiplied by 4, that will give me 14 all over 5. You see, we have been able to change the question to look like the previous one. Now, so I will simply now say this will become what? 14 multiply by, let me now do 8600 divided by 5. That will give me 14 multiplied by 5 into 8 is 1. You can use your calculator if you know. Into 36 then is 7. Into 10 is 2, and then 0. So let's use our calculator to multiply this clearly. 14 times 14 multiply 1720, and this is what we got. So our answer becomes what? 2408. That is 24,080 becomes our answer. Now remember I said you can solve this in using a different method. Just remember that. So I can simply just do the second way of doing this. Let me just show you. You can solve the whole part, which is 2 multiply 8600, right? Plus the next part is the fractional part, 4 over 5 multiply 8600. 2 multiply this will give me 17200 plus 8600 divided by 5 is 172. That means 4 multiply 172. And when you simplify this further, you have the same answer, 2480. 24,080. That's wonderful. Grams. Please don't forget to always put your grams in case of exam. You lose marks if you don't put that. Okay, now having done that, let me see if you can solve this. Can you solve this? Can you? Just look at it, pause the video if you can, and then try it out. Alright, I believe you have given that a shot, and if you got it, that's good. But if you did not, let me walk you through the solution. Simply, I'll convert these two into improper fraction, and this will become 3 multiplied by 3, 9, then plus 2. That is 11 over 3 of 30. So what do I do here? I'll simply say 11 multiply what? 30 divided by 3. 3 divided 30 will definitely give me 10. So 11 multiply 10 will give me 110. That's wonderful. I believe you had fun today learning this. Alright, please just go like this video and subscribe for more videos, and please give us a thumbs up. I'll be seeing you more and more on this channel. Thank you very much.